Hello and welcome to episode 22 of our Timberborn Update 7 Emberpelts hard mode playthrough here in cycle 28, day 7. Start of a 20-day drought. Last time, we, for better or for worse, replaced all of the wood here on our dam with earth and made a lot of progress expanding the reservoir capacity. Obviously, still tons of work to be done on that front, but we did make some very good progress and did a couple of other things along the way, and there's still plenty more to get done, so we're going to get right into it and talk about what today's goals are going to include. Got a bunch of requests to expand the tube network, and there's different places we can make them go. So we'll be doing that, as well as kind of consolidating some of the other industrial stuff over in this area that we didn't fully remove yet. Like all these storages don't really need to be here. But I did notice that we put all this dynamite in here to straighten this channel out so we could put more wheels in. And we never actually detonated it or did anything else over here. So that's definitely something we could get into. In addition to putting in control towers, so our bots, which are now doing all of the jobs, by the way, can get stuff taken care of properly. And we don't have any beavers working. You do see that 0 beavers are working. There are no vacancies, and there are 134 unemployed beavers. That is by design, because the end goal of every one of my playthroughs is to have the bots working, well, unless we're not doing bots, but as to have the bots working all the jobs, and the beavers can do whatever they choose, which means that our working hours thing is now completely irrelevant. So, yeah, that's going to be set to 0, and we're going to have to put in some more stuff for the beavers to do. But, yeah, we'll get to all of that in due time, but I think it's probably about time we start making our way over here, especially because it's a drought. Make our way over here and install bad water bypasses and start the process of trying to make the entire map green, because that is a very, very common goal a lot of you guys want to see in these videos, and we almost never actually get to it. So I figured that would be a good thing for us to do. Plus, we have the ability to utilize our tubeways to make that a relatively painless process. And those do, of course, require materials to build. And that's 4 planks, 1 metal block. I don't think it's going to be an issue, but we do currently only have 700 planks because I've got a bunch of these things paused, or I had a bunch of them paused because we weren't producing enough wood. So we can't go too crazy too quick without planting additional trees. And that's something that we had discussed a little bit in some of the previous episodes, that we needed to plant more trees and have all sorts of other fun stuff happen. So there's a bunch of stuff that has to, you know, all work in harmony for our goals to get accomplished. So we're going to get right on into it. You see we have 3,700 dirt. Somebody in the comments posited that possibly we were having problems because of insufficient dirt storage capacity. And while it's not full, it probably isn't helping that these are not being emptied efficiently. This one is definitely full. So I'm going to go ahead and put in another underground pile right here so we have more capacity. And we're just going to have to start using more dirt. And we said it before that we were going to fill in this area a little bit and make it not necessarily completely filled in, but a little bit more of a flowing river versus a big lake. And we've already done a lot of that. And then down here as well, we have plenty of opportunity to make that happen. So I do think it's probably going to be a good idea for us to get a little bit more of this popped in. And then we just have to decide how far this is going to come out this way. Because I do kind of want to leave just a regular-ish sized lake. But you know how it goes. So I'm going to fill in all of this bit for sure, and then maybe just leave a little bit of this in here. Of course, in due time, as everything does take time, and while that is happening, we can attend to a bunch of other stuff. Addressing the comments that I have written down here in my second monitor, we do have at least one instance, according to you guys, of leftover irrigation barriers. So if we go all the way down, visible layers should show up, and there it is, right there. So we go up here, and yep, that's gone, because you don't need a contamination barrier inland unless something is going horribly, and I mean horribly wrong. So that's taken care of. We do still have to continue blasting this channel out. Well, we don't have to, but we're going to choose to continue blasting this channel out to the maximum depth, which will give us a little bit more slush room for our water pumps, which honestly don't have to be in this exact spot, but probably isn't a terrible idea. And we also can store more water. Not that we're really going to need more than 12,000 water, to be perfectly honest, but sometimes it's fun to do stuff just because you can. But all that being said, put this on triple speed because we don't really have any reason not to, and we're just going to keep on keeping on. I got 29 bots that are currently doing absolutely nothing. And while the beavers can definitely take their time, do what they want, because that is the goal, the bots have no such luxury, and we're going to need to put those guys to work. So a bunch of different stuff we could have them do. Probably don't need to have all of these dirt excavators running any longer than they have to, and all 7 of these that are currently going are getting dirt removed. But as soon as they get removed, they got to go. These 3 I've kept in here for power transmission purposes, and we'll of course have to continue going over this area when that time comes. But I think the best way to put some of these bots to work is going to be, first of all, putting in some control towers in convenient locations, and then, just putting these guys to work wherever we can make that happen. I think the easiest way to do this is going to be to just put in platforms in strategic locations that will cover everything, and then put the control towers on top of that. So if I do there and there, that is going to have a little bit of a gap in the middle. But you take notice, everything is technically covered by at least one of these, so I'm not really super concerned about it. If we really have that big of a problem, then we can, of course, put another one in. But remember that each of these consumes 3 science every single hour, which brings us back to our number crunchers discussion, and I know how much you guys love those. Every hour, one number cruncher puts out 10 science, which means one number cruncher can support 3.333, repeating, of course, control towers. We have 2 number crunchers currently, which means we can support 6. And we've already built just 2 of those. So, number cruncher fans, rejoice. You will get what you desire. We're going to be putting more of those guys in. But for right now, the most prudent thing to do is going to be to put these things in the most logical, high coverage location for buildings that actually utilize bots to work. And if we want to get the most out of these guys, I am going to go ahead and put, I guess, just right here in this exact square, one of these towers. Might look a little bit ugly, but remember, bots don't care about aesthetics, they just care about results. So that is these 3 that we just put in, 1 number cruncher almost in its entirety worth of support there, but that's going to help those bots work a whole lot better. We do have a decent amount of lubricant as well being made at this point, since we put in the second refinery for it. But you know how it goes. Let's go ahead and get both of these prioritized by haulers, which we will need to continue adding. I clicked on that because I thought it was a hauling post. I apparently need to go get my ice checked again. But we have all of these set for bots now. And we have enough extra bots to, just go completely insane with these things. But I don't necessarily want to build these in places where there's no reason to have them. Especially until we, have a better grasp on how our power network is going to be situated. So, knowing that, we can now come back over here to the dynamite that I previously talked about and set it off. And now we can kind of uniformly turn this into a whole thing. We are producing just a hair more power than we're using. So now is the time to put this in. Get these guys going across the way here. Just the easiest method to get that happening. And we can just keep on putting in additional number crunchers. Not necessarily in the most beautiful locations, but the most useful locations. So 2 more of those. Of course, it's going to require another 1,000 HP, but we do have the ability to keep building wheels. So since we can access from both sides, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build the number crunchers first. And then we're going to kind of go backwards out of here and put in additional wheels. I do think we need to keep this about 4 wide here, so I am going to come in with the dirt. Since we have dirt, we do have the ability to use it. Probably should go ahead and fill that in. And then, of course, the rest of all this mess, just make it as clean as we can. And then we don't have to build all of this up. We just have to have this channel put in this way long enough so that we can put in a couple more rows of these wheels. These are producing only about 42, 43 a piece, but every little bit counts, and it's free energy, so you might as well use it, right? No reason not to. We also over here have explosives factories that we haven't replaced to be over here, but long term we might not need to worry about quite so much. In fact, pretty much all of this over here probably can go completely away, including this dirt excavator, honestly. No reason to have this here. We can just fill this back in because we're trying to do everything. That is going to give us also an additional 200 HP back. So we're making progress. Making progress, slowly but surely. I'm going to get this entire hole filled in with the dirt because we can, and we have, you know, now almost 6,000 dirt stored up with absolutely nothing to do. So that's going to be a fun thing to keep those guys busy for a little bit. Oh, that doesn't need to go there. Yeah, like I said, slow and steady wins the race. And if it doesn't win you the race, it will at least get you on the podium. So, going to put in a couple more water wheels. I'm going to leave space for this row while we fix that, and then we know we can put these in as well. Putting these platforms in here is going to allow the bots, rather, to build all of them, and then, you know, have minimal problems with that. We do have a hole here. I am aware of that. It's one of those things that is going to be fixed in due time. In fact, I can just go ahead and take care of that as it is before we replace all of those. And yeah, a little bit of power surging happening here. We'll get that taken care of as time goes by. This guy by himself is making about 75-ish. So it seems that that has helped pretty substantially, actually. Good progress being made there. How are things looking over here now that we have our ping-pong sounding things? Actually, no, it's not ping-pongs. It's the bumpers or whatever those things are called from pinball machines. What was supposed to be in this? Fuel? Oh, that's right, because this was going to be a separate district at some point before we decided that we weren't going to do that. This tree does not need to be here, so bye-bye. No problems there. They got plenty of stuff to work on here. Looks like we are 80% on that. Probably, like I said, I wanted to get rid of all this stuff here. This is empty. Don't need that. Scrap metal, that really doesn't need to be over here. I don't know that we really have anywhere for that to go. But that is probably not something we need to be worried about. Yeah, they can't do anything else with that. Metal block storage, so on and so forth. It doesn't need to be a big thing we're worrying about. But what we do need to worry about is we need to worry about, as the bots are doing more and more stuff, fuel and lubrication. We do have this refinery producing fuel from bad water, but we don't have a lot being stored here, or it's just being consumed in mass quantities. Yeah, that seems to be what the problem is. So we definitely got to get our balance a little bit better here. That is something to keep an eye on. Yeah, our fuel numbers are going super down. So if we take a look at bad water, we actually don't really have that much bad water either. So yeah, we're going to want to look into alternate recipes here. Even if bad water is a convenient one for this area, we're not pumping enough of it. And, yeah, see, these bots can't really make enough. Looks like 3 every hour. And unlike the regular water pump, the automated water pump does not work with bad water. So we do have to manually pump those, unless we wanted to put another bad water rig in. But I like the idea of the power, especially if we're going to be consuming fuel to generate power. We need to be able to generate as much quote-unquote free power as possible, and that's a whole thing. So I think, yeah, let's go ahead, just do all this stuff in chunks as one does. I'm going to go ahead and say I don't need to have these here anymore. Just start to get the rest of the stuff cleaned up. Wow, they made pretty quick work of all that. And look at that, we still have 5,500 dirt. That ought to tell you. That ought to give you a pretty good idea. But we got all these extra bots, like I said, that aren't doing anything. So we can give them the opportunity to pump some additional water. But if we do it from here, they're going to generate less power. So probably the smart thing for us to be doing is to have all of this bad water go into a reservoir, or like fall off into something, and then pump from there. So I think what's going to make sense, assuming this is going to generate enough power, it'll generate more once we pause these things. Not a ton more. But if we can get 4 complete rows of this, I know this one is kind of in the way, we might end up moving it. But 4 complete rows of this, and then have this just come off the side like it is. And, you know, just make ourselves a little bit of a reservoir here. If I can figure out the right kind of place to do it. Take a look at our pumping situation. I put these guys in. Doesn't really need to be a super big deal. So this dirt here is going to be removed for the purpose of putting that in there. But we're still going to need dirt, so I think... yeah, I think we're going to want to... I think we're going to want to put a little bit more here. Just because. Just because we can. And then I suppose... if I get rid of that, I put a single here. That's going to be a triple, and then a double... bunch of doubles here. We can start blasting out whatever we're going to be working on here. I love pulling up these ideas out of nowhere. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... nope. 6. We can put 6. Or if I go one more, we can do 7. 7 wide seems to be fine, I suppose. So if we're going to do that, then I can use more dirt to come out this way and just kind of, you know the drill. Do the thing. So, by popular demand, I am going to utilize suspension bridges to help build all this stuff. That was a pretty hot topic of discussion in the comments of the last video about why I never do that. I know it's more efficient. It's just, I always forget about doing stuff like this, and it ends up just being a huge pain in the butt. Because I then have to solve problems that I hadn't intended to solve. So, I'm not saying it's a bad idea, I'm just saying there's going to come a point where my brain is just like, okay, I don't have to worry about that anymore, because it's not real, and then nothing gets fixed, nothing gets saved, and it just ends up being a nuisance to everybody involved. Why is this too... oh, okay. That's on me. That's on me. Get that connected. Okay, look in there. Yeah, remember when we were going to start making our way that way, and then I got distracted by producing fuel, and now our bots are rapidly running out of it because we can't make enough. Good times. Good times. And I still have 41 bots that aren't doing anything, but I kind of don't want them running around, because then we're really going to run out of fuel. Okay. Let's get that taken care of. Fill that hole in. Logs and planks. I guess we can technically use all of those. We do need to have them. I have 433 bot limbs. All right, I'll tell you what. That's definitely something we can put a stop to that real quick. Yeah, pause that. It's consuming planks and gears unnecessarily. We already have way too much of that going on. All right. Yeah, see how much nicer this is when I actually, you know, do things correctly. Oh, did I do that wrong? You can't make this stuff up, man. You really can't. How deep is the straw in this? I guess I should have checked that first. 4. Okay. Well, we'll call that a happy accident then, because now that is the exact correct depth for doing all of this. These need to be at 2s. That needs to be at 1. And then that is now the correct depth, period, point blank. So we don't need to fill this in, but I do want to make sure that anywhere I'm going to have pumps is going to be adequately deep enough for all of the pumping to occur. Alright, so they got that finished. And if I'm going to have a row of pumps, which I guess I could go ahead and build, because why not? So that's 7 of those things. I know this is in the way. We'll take care of that. 7 of those there means I can put another 7 over here. Which, you know, actually I only have to have this little bit taken care of there. But we're going to need to have some capacity here. So probably what I'm going to have to do is just start enclosing this entire thing here. You know, it doesn't have to be beautiful. At no point in my life have I ever been accused of committing architecture. To borrow a joke from our friend, Real Civil Engineer. But, oh, I make such ugly stuff, man. It's so ugly. Yeah, let's just put an overflow, I guess, in the corner here. Put a couple of them just in case. I think they should still be able to build most of this. But yeah, what's going to happen here is we're going to have to get these guys situated so they can start pumping. I guess there's no real reason not to have a whole bunch of overflow, just in case we accidentally have to. But, okay, now I got to pause and think here. This is going to help me think tremendously. I don't want to stop these from turning. They are actually producing 90 HP, really? 100. Okay, all right. All right, that's good, but we got to get those numbers up. So I really shouldn't have this at full height here. This, instead, should be overflowed at this height so that it never gets high enough to back up into this thing, but I definitely want to have as much capacity in here as possible. So, we're going to remove that, and that's going to allow the beavers to get over here, and they also have to build in this way, which means they're going to have access with help of a suspension bridge, which they can't get to because somebody made a bad choice. That's alright, they can build all this at once with the help of bridge. Get that taken care of, get the rest of this out, get that out. I clearly did not think this through. I am going to have to build. Oh, man. Ugh. This is what happens. This is what happens, folks. Commit to a plan before you start recording. No. One, I generally am not good at that, short of just, you know, making notes about things. Two, I don't want to turn this into, like, to borrow a term, don't want to turn this into something that becomes quickly unfun because of the amount of thought that has to go into it. I don't know, that might seem kind of stupid to think about it that way. But I'm trying to have a good time playing with the beavers, as we all are. I don't want to commit too much thought. My brain doesn't always like that idea. Yeah, so they can take care of getting this finished. I guess I didn't need that one there anyhow. Get that put in place. And we definitely need to start. I guess I could just, you know, leave that there. That should be fine. I can't build that yet. That's got to be rotated. Is this also a platform? Okay, well that can be replaced with dirt. I don't know that that's really going to make that big of a difference, but we can do our best. You should always do your best, generally speaking. How do I still have 42? Nope, 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 that's an error. Wait a second, that was... Yeah, what's... I wonder if it was because these weren't hooked up to the district when they were built. That's gotta be it. That's gotta be it. Well, you gotta get these guys out of here. Absolutely not. There is no beaver working allowed. Go do something else. That isn't working. There we go. I knew this looked weird. All right, how are we doing? Okay, these are all done. Perfect. That does mean that these can now be removed and their materials recouped. But these are load-bearing in terms of power transmission, so they are going to stay for right now. But this guy is just about finished. These four are still working, and we have used almost all of our dirt storage again. Oh boy. Oh boy. So much fun. Something's always happening, huh? Okay, that piece is in place. That piece goes there, that piece goes there, and I can definitely build all of these at the same time. It's just this one next to this I don't want to get caught with. These are producing a pretty nice amount of power. Looking good. This can go away. We can get some wood back from that. Yes, I know we are running dangerously low on wood. Yes, I am aware that I said I was going to solve that problem, and then proceeded to not solve the problem. Get it? Not because wood. Yeah, I know. I know. It's fine. Do I want to... I can remove that later. Need to see how much more range. Oh, I've got so much more range. But I did say I was going to make this a lake. So if we're going to do that, if I could just... Yeah, let's get that filled in there. Fill in that corner. And then I suppose... Now, why did I do that way? I don't like this arrow mechanic with the terrain blocks. It just ends up confusing the snot out of me, which admittedly is not very hard. But, yeah. Oh, man. Ugh, what a mess. What a mess, huh? This is going to be a super ugly lake. I'm sorry to all of you in advance. Oh, boy. Well. All we can do is just try our best. That's all we can ever be expected to do. Am I making enough science yet? Yeah, not quite. Not quite. Not quite. Gotta get the rest of this taken care of. I don't think they can reach any more here. So... if that's going to be the case, then we can give it a little bit more help. Putting in another bridge. Probably have to connect this to the path network. There we go. Cool. Alright, we can leave that alone for at least a little bit of time. Get back to some of the rest of the stuff, which, remember, we were trying to put in additional tubeways and stuff to get out here, but now we got to solve the wood problem. If only we had trees that we could cut down, right? Well, we do have some extra space here that we can grow trees, and they are going to be coming back in from time to time. So, not really that much reason for concern. Just need to make sure everything is accessible, which currently those are. Just got to do little bits and pieces. Yeah, we're producing way too many goods. Way too many goods. Got to do something about that. Though there are still... Okay, bricks and metal blocks? Really? We're full up on metal blocks, huh? Okay, well these aren't consuming wood, so I don't really know what else to do about that. We probably don't need to have so many bots going right now, so if I pause 2 of the bot assemblers, then that is going to reduce the amount of parts we're consuming, which means the part storage will become full faster, which means they will shut off. these will shut off sooner. I wish we had more wood. I know, I'm going to get absolutely just steamrolled in the comments by the people who want me to plant all sorts of weird trees everywhere. And see, these guys need fuel, but we can't make it. Can't make it fast enough because we can't pump bad water fast enough. We're working on it. We're trying. we're trying, folks. Are these ready to get connected yet? Okay, and that piece has to go in, and then the rest of these have to go in. What's the, Still only 2,600. Is there any of this I can shut off? It doesn't really seem like it. This is all pretty essential stuff. Well, pretty soon there's going to be some bad water in here that we can pump away. Hopefully. We will see. Got apple trees here. Apple numbers are still not tremendously high. The gatherer flag is, you know, probably in a spot where you could use some help. Probably could stand to have a second one, so I think it's going to make sense for us to go ahead and sacrifice one of these trees to come in with another gatherer flag just to help them out. Again, we have 29 bots who aren't doing anything, so we might as well put them to work. And that going right there will be a nice and easy thing. Maple syrup numbers are looking tremendously good. So these are currently marked for cutting, but we don't have a lumberjack over here. I'm just going to, you know, unmark those for cutting because we kind of shouldn't be worrying about that anymore. There's no fuel here. There's no lubricant here because... Oh, no, there's a little bit of fuel. We just aren't producing enough stuff. And I did have storage for fuel and lubricant, but it hasn't been marked for priority stuff yet. Okay, this one's finished. Pause. How are we doing over here? Are we filling this up yet? Good. Now we just have to figure out how to avoid flooding stuff. I think if I just keep this at this level with this overflow here, we should be basically perfect. Ready to go. That needs to be a thing like that. And that should hook up all of this, which is, yeah, it's going to be another... By the time they're all built, another 700 HP, which should get us just about where we want to be relative to everything else. Alright, so that should be being built. This is one block higher so that all the bad water gets diverted into here. This is already getting pretty full. Turning at about the same speed still, so this should flow through here once it gets high enough. There it goes. As long as we don't have any flooding on this side, we should be okay. Waiting for the construction behind it to be finished. Okay, well, which way do I have that go? Okay, well, that was stupid. That would explain why that wasn't being built. Let's just fix that real quick. There we go. Because that one was coming in from that side. That's why did I... See, this is just another example of why this directional arrow thing is a great idea in theory, but sometimes ends up being just confoundingly frustrating. Look at all these bots with no fuel. Okay. Do I have enough extra stuff to change one of these other recipes? I've got 1,600 radishes. I'm not going to do canola seeds. No chance there. Oh, it's got to be corn. It's got to be corn. Even though it's like a less desirable recipe, it's got to be corn. Are they going to be able to get this going right? Let's find out. I guess it is kind of a problem now that the bots are the ones that are doing everything, and they have to be able to make their own fuel to survive. Yeah, should have thought about that, shouldn't I? Oh, this is going to be so many problems. So many problems. Alright, for the benefit of everybody, I'm just going to pause all of these dirt excavators so we can have some bots left to do jobs. Hopefully to make some fuel. Gonna pause liquid fuel engines over here so we can, you know, save some fuel from being used. Still working on this, huh? Okay, well, we are making less power, but we're making... Okay, we're making 1,000 less. The numbers were looking a little more favorable as soon as I clicked on this, but you know how it goes. You know how it goes. All right, let's get some more trees in here. Make sure these new ones are all marked for cutting, which they should be. And that should start improving. Eventually. What's being stored in here? Is that full? Okay, it's full of dirt. Because we're going to do something about this. See, but now I got the problem of the bots are running out of fuel. So, I regret to pull beavers out of retirement, but I think I'm going to have to staff at least the fuel refineries with beavers. Just so we can, you know, guarantee that we're going to have fuel. We don't have to wait on the bots to have the fuel to make the fuel. Like trying to cold start the power grid or something like that. Those are embarked, right? They're just not being... Okay, and this guy probably doesn't have fuel. No, okay. He's about to be out, which is gonna be a problem. But hopefully we can solve our issues here. Alright, so corn is being turned into fuel here. A little slowly. Probably, oh, these are going. I'm just gonna go ahead and take these out so that we can get all of the... It's not like that much that's being removed, but all of it can go through here, and I'm gonna replace this with additional refineries. I think makes the most sense. Ooh, you know what? You know what I can do is I can pop that guy right there, and then we can just pop that in that way. And for now, until we run out of corn or get a more stable bad water supply. Actually, no, now we have almost 900 bad water. I guess that's going to be fine. But I will have this other one also on. Wait a second. Okay, that's radishes. Beets. We're gonna make fuel out of beets. Until we get everything fixed, the beavers are gonna have to make the fuel. See, I told you we're gonna fix stuff. It's just you never know when you go to fix stuff what else might have to be fixed. You know, it's like the never-ending problem here. But this does seem to be working reasonably well. I'm gonna get rid of that so we can have all these connected to the path network. Bring that in there. We have a tremendous mess on the ground, but I'm not going to be worried about it. I think we are looking okay. And we have 379 pine resin. We should be making lubricant, but I don't... Oh no. Oh no, we have 278 incapacitated bots. See how quickly things can go south. Let's hit pause. We gotta do it. We gotta do a great reset, folks. Hauling post, hauling post, hauling post. That's 30 bio beavers. That's 40. That's 50. All in the hauling posts. Go to work. Replace all of the fuel where it needs to go as it's being manufactured. Make it possible for the bots to do their thing, and we can get rid of this mess here. How do I always manage to do this? It's actually kind of infuriating. But life goes on. And they're no longer pumping because they don't have any fuel. We should have done this a long time ago to get this put back in, but it is what it is. Right now we're only making power off. Wait a second. Did I accidentally disconnect this entire network of stuff? Because this guy is connected. Network power supply is 1744. That obviously isn't connected. Oh, okay, no, that's just the individual. Why? Oh, jeez. It might be time for me to go to bed. It hasn't even been that long. You remember over here when I said I was going to make a diversion thing and then I never did? Yeah. Good times. Oh, man. So many things I wanted to do today that I actually can't get done because we don't have enough fuel. Let this be a lesson. Let this be a lesson, folks. You gotta be able to do your stuff. Gotta be able to get it done. So I think what's gonna have to happen here is, after I finish my serving of humble pie, gonna come in and, I guess just put that way. I'm just gonna have to put in additional refineries in places where it's going to allow me to do that. And we do have bad water being produced. It's just that, you know, the bots who are trying to make stuff don't have any fuel. And that ends up creating all sorts of problems. Oh well. Best laid plans and all that. At least this is improved. Very, very, very slowly. Alright, we're going to have to, you know, I'm just going to go in through in here. Builders' huts, bio-beavers. Oh yeah. My god, I'm going to get absolutely annihilated in the comments. I have to give them working hours. So somehow, if you haven't clicked off of this disaster of a video, then I appreciate you. Appreciate you being here. I don't edit these, and I don't do do-overs when I make mistakes. So you get to see all of the stupidity in real time. So bio-beavers are gonna have to take one for the team here and kind of get the ball rolling again to make more fuel and get these bots back on track. But hey, guess what? This, I think, is a big improvement. Still making plenty of power here, and we're going to be able to pump, and we're going to be able to make a lot more fuel. We just probably should have done this a long time ago. I mean a long time ago. But now that we have a little bit more of this figured out, I think it's probably still a smart idea for us to continue working toward getting over into this area. Especially because we're about to have a temperate season come in. But we're going to have tubes going places, and somebody built a power shaft infrastructure where you probably should have been putting tubes. But what we can do when we get enough wood, and yes, I know, you got to plant more trees. We're going to plant more trees. In fact, this is pretty much the perfect place to do it, because I know we're not going to need all this space. And to placate you guys, yes, we will plant different trees that are not oaks. I don't think I need to worry about putting any more water storage here. So if I just make these all pines, then I just have to have a forester, which I clicked on the wrong button because of muscle memory. Thank you very much. We'll just... I guess right here is fine. Make a little bit more of a path. Put a couple of lumberjack flags. Here. Get that put in place. And then we can plant some pine trees and just cut them down. Helpfully, there are still 2 pines over here. Somehow, at 2% growth. I'm not really sure how that happened. Unless, oh. Okay, well that explains a lot. I did not think that was going to be that, close. Alright. Are we at least making decent amounts of fuel here? I know it's because the beavers had to go home. There we go. Hey, we got 400 something. Alright. We are going to have to... Look how straight of a shot that is. Is that perfect? That is. That's going to be beautiful. Going to be absolutely beautiful. We are going to start the process of bringing tubeways all the way across here, which is going to require that we elevate above the path. Or actually, no. We don't have to elevate above the path. We can just replace the path. How quickly I forget. Two-way station, small two-way station. There's not really... I guess there's not really reason to build a giant one unless we need to have a ton of connections. So what we could do is we could put this at the very end of the path. Then we could have something come down to the top of it if we so chose. But we can just go right out the end of this thing and just hit the jets. And I guess this is a good time to try this. I'm almost completely certain this isn't going to work. But somebody asked if... a couple of people asked if we could put tubeways on suspension bridges. That's a negative, Ghost Rider. Unfortunately, it doesn't work because this is considered to have a path integrated into it. But what does work, we do overhangs, just like that. And that is what we are going to do. We have so much metal that I think we can justify just continuing this mess here. So that is what we will do. 6x1s. Why is that? Stop that. We're just going to keep on bringing this all the way around so it's completely flat because that's fun. That is the correct height there. There we go. Yeah, just put all this in line. Oh no, I'm going to have to put a 5x instead of a 6. Okay, well, life goes on. But look at that, arrow straight, and they've already built all of this because they can build from the inside of the tubeways. And now I've actually started process on something that I said at the beginning of the episode we'd be getting to, so you don't have to worry. We're going to get it done. Alright, tiny two-way station. I'm going to put one of those here as well, so we have access to this scrap metal should we ever need it. But after that, it's going to be just business as usual going through here. Yes, I'm putting the overhangs in. No, there is no reason for me to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. And away we go. But look at, like, I'm pretty sure they can build this stuff pretty stinking quick. Yeah, definitely. And then this, I suppose, again, no real reason to do this. But sometimes that is reason enough. Oh, you gotta be joking. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, that's such a bummer. Oh, that would have been so cool. Would have been so cool for that to work. Well, I guess I don't have to have this go all the way across here, but I thought it would be kind of fun. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We have technology. We have tube-way bridges, and I am a complete imbecile. I know I'm gonna get flamed for this because I was told about this. And I said I was gonna check it out, and I didn't do it. So, tube-way bridges. Exactly this purpose. Exactly this purpose, and they can go right on the end of. Oh, I hope they haven't started building these yet. Okay, we are. Oh, we're so back. We're so back. Let's just clear this out. Because, oh, this is going to be so hilarious. Like, check this out. Check this out. Alright, gotta get rid of that. But this is the longest tube-way bridge. Look at that. Look at that. It goes right on the end. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So now, not only have we used something that I said I was going to use and then didn't use, we've opened up the possibility to have very long gaps between places that we have to build. But the problem is we still have to be able to, you know, actually get to this stuff, so we are unfortunately going to have to continue using some of these. But that sure looks a whole lot better, doesn't it? I think it does. It's going to make us use considerably fewer resources overall. The two-way bridge does still have some materials that have to go into it, but we're not going to have to build double for all of our metal content, because this 6x1 uses 12 metal, and each segment of two-way uses 1 metal, whereas the two-way bridge uses 13. So you do save a little bit of resources there. And then, of course, the 24 logs, 28 planks versus 36 logs and 36 planks. Like, look at that. That's efficiency, folks. Even if it is kind of a roundabout way of getting there, it is still efficient. And what we can do is come in this way with the 2x and just hook that straight into the side of the ground. Look at, doesn't that look so much better? I know it's not perfect. It's not evenly spaced for one, but it is a tremendous, tremendous improvement. So if we get rid of this bit here, why is the game paused? There's not really a real reason for the game to be paused here, so I will fix that. Put this, oh, that's not the right one, boo. Okay, well, I needed to have these all unlocked anyhow. So that going here. Yeah, okay, so now the fun part is, oh, wrong button. This still doesn't reach, but even worse, so I am going to have to do a little bit of finagling here. Wait, hold on. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. The tubeway bridge is just a regular bridge with the suspension thing removed, with individual tubeway modules placed. That is so smart. I was also probably told that this was the case, and I've just completely flushed it from my brain because that's apparently how it works. But I'm really impressed. Like, think about all of the coding that probably had to go into this. And I obviously have no idea how coding is supposed to work. I just know that it's hard and involves a lot of math and logic and so on and so forth. I don't need to beat a dead horse any more than possible, but I am really, really impressed with this. Tremendously, tremendously impressed. Alright, if I put a 2x1 here, and a 2x1 there, and then I put my two-way bridges on that way. Okay. Okay, so I'll tell you what we're going to have to do, because it's not really going to be obvious once this is finished. I'll put a 3x1 here, and I'm going to put a two-way bridge there, and then a two-way bridge there, so that I can build it all at once. Okay, there we go, and then this is going to be a two-way, tiny two-way station, which I guess, I don't know which direction I'm going to have these guys go, so maybe what's going to make the most sense is just to put two of these next to each other, so I have exits on either side. So I know there's only one doorway on those. Yeah, so, yikes. What a horrible, horrible, like, expose that was on whatever is occupying my cranium currently that isn't a brain. But I did say we're going to get over here, and it looks like that's going to be the case, so we can continue working on everything else as well. I can put these... Wait a second. Did I do an additional stupid? Oh, I definitely did. I super did. Okay. Stop pausing the game. No. It helps me think. It's like when you're driving and you're looking for something, and you can't see it, so you turn the radio down because it's going to help you see better. Yeah, that's definitely a real thing. That's gonna have to go there. You know, here I am, having just extolled the virtues of this incredible feat of mod making with the two-way bridge, and here I go putting in all these, oh my god, here I go putting all these stupid platforms in. Like a man who has learned absolutely nothing. Alright. Man, I'm... Just eviscerate me. Take me out to the woodshed. It's over. It's over for me. It's got to be like, what, Old Yeller? Or whatever. Just put me out to pasture. It's over. Time's up. I probably placed that in the wrong spot. Yep, definitely did. That's probably still wrong. Why is the game still paused? Good question. See, now if I have that way, I am pretty sure... Yeah, see, that'll work. They can build from inside this station as well, which will really, really help that. But now this can go around here. Can I get these over... Can I get these over this? Let's find out. No, that will not work. If it's tall enough, though, Maybe. Maybe. But let's get that out of the way. I don't want to accidentally have them build that. Okay, so that is going to put that right there. And we'll just have this go around all the way anyway. Doesn't really matter. Two-way bridge connect. I love this, by the way. This is just absolutely fantastic. Two-way station there. I guess I could put another one. Oh, cycle 29. Yeah, remember we're playing a game. We're playing a game, and I'm desperately trying to get everything to work here. Okay, so unemployed. We've got vacancies. I think it's probably about time for us to put some of these bots back to work, but we need to have... I'm trying to do way too much at one time. I'm excited about this, man. This is so cool. Like, I can't believe this actually works. It's legitimately impressive. It's just so stinking cool, man. Okay, I know. Stop pausing. Stop asking me to stop pausing the game. We're gonna pause the game because I have to be able to think. Get your brain to work better. Nope, ship sailed on that a super long time ago. Welcome to the madness. We are producing enough fuel. We have 1,600, so that does help. These aren't producing enough science. So I do think I have to turn these liquid fuel engines back on. Okay, yeah, that should work out nicely now. But we need to have fuel here, and we do. We need to have lubricant here. This is not lubricant. This is the apple juice, which I don't think I've ever had apple juice that looked like that, but that's fine. Little tiny fuel thing here. We probably should put in a lubricant tank as well. Set to obtain. We just need to be better about actually having different things available. And I know we don't have a lot of lubricant. Probably don't even have enough for it to show up here. Because that is a recipe with extract is a problem. How? How? We've had these things... Oh, okay. You know what? That makes sense. That makes sense. We're probably really, really far behind in producing extract. I've got fuel storage there. This is... Where's my bad water storage anyway? Do I even have bad water storage? Did I not make a tank for bad water storage? I really should have. Really should have made a tank for bad water storage. Well, I know how we can fix that. I know how we can fix it. Let's just put in a couple of these guys here. Make that, come on, spacebar. Make that a priority. And then I'll just put in large underground tank for bad water right there, and I can help that process along by putting in a ladder here. I can't believe that I don't have one of those. I mean, I kind of can, but at the same time... You know how it goes. Alright, so... Why'd you... Alright, I don't care. That's going away. Bad water set to supply. I only have 2 bots working this. We can definitely turn that way up, but we knew that was a problem. I should have done that instead of this whole... Oh, it's already been an hour. Oops. This whole hour-long just misadventure detour. But they're making some nice progress on the... I love these two-ways, man. It's so cool. It's so cool. They can't build this because... Oh, wait a second. They can't build the end... Oh, because they can't build the end of the bridge. So they can't get to that. Alright, well that's going to necessitate that we do this a little bit differently. Okay. Let's... I know. Shut up and play the game. I'm trying so hard. I really am. If I just do this, they can build from inside 2 ways. So, that doesn't connect. How does that not connect? Or is it not going to connect until after I have the thing actually built? But I can't get rid of that one. Can I get rid of that one? Okay, now it connects. That's interesting. It didn't want to connect to this until I refreshed the thing behind it. I don't know that that is specifically a bug, but that is definitely something I would think needed to be addressed. Alright, let's get rid of this. I'm not going to put that there. This just makes so much more sense. That also needs to be fixed. Oh, yes. This is also why I should not have this running at triple speed this whole time, because I realize now that we are possibly going to have the end of our temperate cycle before we get anything actually meaningfully accomplished in terms of water storage in here. Because these are still paused, because I didn't have bots available. Drinking through a fire hose rarely goes well, kids. Do not try that at home. Now I kind of have to continue this, because that just looks stupid, but man, whatever. So if I wanted to, I could probably salvage that by putting in a tiny two-way station here. And then having... No, not on top of that. Get out of there. Then just have that go here, here, and here. And then they have one very conveniently. You know what? That's agreeable. That's agreeable. I can, well, agree with that. So two-way there and there just to get it elevated. And there. And then for the sake of continuity here, let's just do a bridge. Oh, that's going to be so perfect. Oh, look at that. There's a commercial. Oh, God, here we go. There's a commercial on TV a number of years ago for some sort of, I think it was like some sort of like craft supplies or whatever. Like a magic sponge or something like that. And there's this woman who just absolutely loses her mind at how much fun it is. And honestly, it's incredible. It's really wholesome stuff. But she's just losing her mind at how much fun she's having with this sponge.
Oh my gosh. Ah, I am sorry. Oh, I want you to look at all of those wiggles.
These are not noises I normally hear, you know, women of that age making, but that's going to get taken out of context. Anyway, we're gonna get this connected. And I really hope I don't get canceled for that. We're gonna move on. Oh, I said I was gonna blast this out. See, remember what happens, folks, when you don't commit to doing one thing at a time. You get unfinished projects, and you get broken promises and things that you reply to people in the comments of, yeah, we're definitely gonna check that out, and then you forget because you're having so much fun with your magic sponges. But what I had in the notes for today's episode was to continue blasting out the channel with the pumps, which we did not get to. But that's a goal we can pretty easily pick up at some other point in time. Plant more trees. Okay, we did plant some more trees. Remove the water dumps in the river. Oh, I absolutely did not do that. Alright, I did it. Problem solved. Continue blasting the river lower. Did not do that, but we can do that later. We needed to put fuel and lubricant in by the excavators. So we actually kind of already did have some of that over here. It just wasn't being populated. And this area is about to be excavated anyway, so I'm not going to put any there. But we did kind of solve a lot of the bot food problem, the fuel problem. So that's good. Dirt storage we did address, and then contamination barriers under the farms and water dumps. We did the very first thing. And then we got distracted by this absolutely beautiful feat of beaver engineering. Ah, they can't... Oh, man. Oh, I thought for sure this was going to work. That actually... that could cause some rather severe problems for us over here. So now that's not... Okay. So, note to self. We need to have access outside with tube stations. See, all these things we're learning. Can I build this underneath? No. Okay, well, I guess that was a little bit too much to expect. But I think I can make this work with the help of... There we go. Wait, is that actually a station? Okay, it does have one. All right, temporary setbacks for future success. We're just going to let them work on that. But like I said, the original thing I said that we're going to do this episode was get over this area, which we technically have kind of accomplished, almost. But yeah, this is a very good lesson as to why you should always think about what you're doing and how hard it is to record an episode of one of these things, shooting from the hip, just narrating the whole time and getting yourself distracted. But, you know, We haven't had too many of those in this series. The other series, yes. But I digress. This is going to be it for this one, folks. I really appreciate your support, your continued tolerance of my sometimes not very good videos. But we have a good time, right? It's about having fun, not necessarily about being the best Timberborn player ever. That would definitely not be me. Probably Zedek or Skystorm or one of the other guys that's always doing these crazy huge projects. But at any rate, I am glad you're here. I'm glad we get to spend this time together. Boosters, I really appreciate your support in continuing to enable the insanity and making sure that we can just focus on having fun with the games and not worry about getting sponsorships from stuff people don't want to buy or whatever. So, let's take one final look at the progress that's being made here, which is slowly inching its way toward our area here. And that is going to be where we end it for today, folks. Again, I really appreciate you. I have so much fun playing this game, and I really enjoy getting to share it with you and interacting. So please do always let me know. Comments, concerns, justified roasting, always appropriate, always fine. So we'll see you in the next episode of this one on Monday, and we'll see you in... What's on Saturdays? I don't even remember anymore. The Update 7 Folktales, I think, is on Saturdays. We'll see you next time, friends. See ya. Bye-bye.